Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I hope y'all are doing well. Let's get started with the BTC live analysis. All right. Okay, so let me first grab this link right here and post it in the different groups that I'm a part of. I'm gonna get this going first. Looks like we are live right now, so let me do this. Okay. Calling live. Come join. Okay. Let me just post this in all parts of the group. Alright, I just wanted to play this Don't Worry, Be Happy music, because I know everyone's scared right now with the market dropping. But guys, this is just part of the game, so if you're not used to the market being so volatile, shaking you out of your positions, you may be trading with too much capital. So I hope this is your general warning of being prepared and careful with your capital. Please do be careful. All right. Okay, so let's sort of dial back a little bit, okay? I know everyone's freaking out right now. So first, I really want you guys to think about the market as a whole in terms of where it is and where it's going, okay? Especially on some larger time frames, all right? Obviously on this 1 hour chart, this looks brutal. Everything looks like it's falling apart. The world is crashing. But when we start sort of, looking back at this big, massive wave up, everything kind of falls into context when we realize that, we're just steadily hovering around anywhere between 7K and 8K. That's really been the trading range for the past, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 or 10 days now, okay? And it's of no surprise that, we're sort of pulling back just a little bit more. But you have to really figure out, why you're in this market right now. Are you trying to be a trader and trying to trade the 1 minute and 5 minute charts? Or are you trying to catch the big moves that are going to yield you, the best return on your positions, right? Yeah, you may get stopped out of a few positions here and there, but if you're really looking for the bigger picture of where these larger, even these smaller pullbacks of the corrective waves are leading up to, then you have nothing to worry about, okay? Now, especially if you believe in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure right here, then you know that the next wave will probably take you higher, and significantly higher than this 8,400 high. Usually the fifth wave is not just like a hair above the third wave. It's a sizable amount higher, okay? So that kind of puts us right near, say the 9,600 resistance, which was this area right here, back in May 2018, or almost as high as 10,000 or 12,000, okay? Excuse this chart right here. I'm gonna go back over here and go to the BTC US dollar chart. Now, when we start looking at Bitcoin, wait a second, where's the other chart that I have? I think it's this one right here. Okay, so when we start looking at BTC from a longer time frame perspective, right? After we sort of had this 18 or 16 month bear market right here, okay? When we had this big spike up, I want you to ask yourself if you were the person who bought down here, or were you waiting for even lower prices, or were you waiting for actually, to buy at 9 or 10K because you wanted to be resolute in the idea that we are now entering the bull market. okay? Because if you weren't the person who bought down here, okay, then you should be the person you're, waiting for the true bull market, was probably, above 10,000 or so, okay? Whatever number that you have in mind, all right? Now, with the prices floating at 7,600, and then this is clearly, the sign of a pretty nice bull flag, okay? If we start looking out on the 3-day time frame, this is a good representation that a tightening of price action is happening. Supply is meeting demand in this region. Everything that drops further than previous order blocks or below the 7 to 8K range is getting bought up real quick. Okay, so really, I want you to ask yourself, why are you worried about these couple $100 drops? Are you prepared fiscally, emotionally, and spiritually, I guess, for the next bull market? Okay, and especially if you start looking at where we are right now versus, say, where we were after we were recovering from this bull market, or I'm sorry, this bear market back in 2015. Even if prices drop down here, I want you to ask yourself, are you going to have the guts to pick up the Bitcoin, the alts, all your other coins that you're into way down here at the lows again if you do get a retest of that $3,000 to $4,000 range? Because if you're not, you might as well sort of buy and forget for a while, right? Because that might be your best trading or hodling strategy. But I don't recommend that because, again, hodling is not a strategy, all right? Investing is a strategy. Long-term investing is a strategy, okay? Longer time horizon strategies in terms of investments for seeing this asset class, mature further into the future, that's a strategy. Buying willy-nilly at any, random price just because you think it's quote-unquote high or low, that doesn't, qualify as a strategy, guys. So you have to really ask yourself that, am I paying, again, quote-unquote, too much for BTC at 7,600? Whether it's BTC or Ethereum, whatever alts that you're in, you need to ask yourself if that's a high price. And I say price in quotes. I wish I could, air quote it right now on camera, because value does not mean price. Value means something that you believe in the asset's fundamentals, in its future value, okay? But obviously that, to me, at this point, hasn't really changed, all right? Unless I see structural breaks of, say, let me pull up the daily chart again. Let me pull this out, okay? So unless I see a daily candle start closing under this level, which is right around 7,200, I would probably say BTC is going to hover around this region for a little while, okay? And a little while, I stated in my Cryptosomniac community right here a couple days ago, for maybe a week or two. Why? And I'll explain why again, okay? I stated it right here, all right? I mentioned how in traditional markets, the 200 moving average is seen as a breakout or a breakdown area, all right? So if that's the case, right, if the traditional markets see the 200 moving average as that, we need to look at the 365 or 400-day moving average. So I'm going to map that out right now. Here's that 365-day moving average right there, okay, the red line. The blue is nothing but, me projecting that out into the future in terms of how that moving average will move if it's on its steady pace right now. Okay, so with that being said, why exactly is that important? Well, the 400, or rather the 365-day moving average, means that the average prices for the 365 days has now been broken to the upside, and now usually in the traditional asset classes, you have this sort of consolidation and accumulation before that big leg up, okay? This, you can spot this on many asset classes. Once the 200 moving average breaks down, you'll see a lot of selling occur, unless it's like a false breakout where, there's some stops that need to be broken and then it just rockets back up. Then you can see a false breakout. But in most cases, when an asset is recovering from your 200-day moving average, this is usually a buy signal for a lot of traders, algos, bots, HFTs, and then you start seeing, a 2-week or maybe a month-long accumulation, and then just prices just rocket to the next, sizable, I don't know, whatever gain, XYZ gain that you want to see. Okay, this has happened in many markets, and you will be able to see that this sort of accumulation right here will more than likely occur above this level. Okay, and so unfortunately, if you really want to get out of this market, you're gonna have to wait right in this region right here, $7,200 or so. Okay, that's at least where I will be waiting. Now, I also have this sort of accumulation right here, which is a few months long, where prices may just trend in this area for months at a time, and then sort of break out maybe, end of the year or something. That very well might happen, which this is actually just a fractal of this thing right here. Okay, this big sort of accumulation, big capitulation phase right here that happened, I just mapped it out over here. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly going to happen, but I'm just stating that more often than not, in other markets as well as BTC, you'll see an accumulation if essentially there's smart money trying to enter the market, because they want to essentially buy up as much of the supply as possible. And sometimes what happens is people don't want to sell this low. Okay, they want to sell a little bit higher, maybe recover some of their losses from, this 6K breakdown, because clearly there was a lot of people buying in the 6K region. Once it broke down, it recovered after almost, 8, 9, 10 months, and it's above where they bought in. So now they get to get out at a profit, sell into the hands of smart people, or smart money, and then these people essentially get to drive the prices up higher and higher. All right. Okay, so here we go. I don't quite know what's happening in the chat, but I'm gonna ignore that person. I don't know who that person is. All right. Going back to the analysis. Okay, so here's one of my takes. The monthly and the weekly pivot right here lie around that same area, so it's of no surprise that we're actually catching a lot of resistance right here. We're also seeing, the next level of resistance right around 9 to 10K, and then 11.6 to almost say 12 or 13K is really the next one. Beyond that, I honestly don't see anything in the way to 20K. Okay, so I'm going to sort of look at the positives and the negatives of what's happening in price action, and I'm going to explain to you, my bearish view and my bullish view of what's happening. Okay, for the most part, I'm still in my positions. I personally would like to buy any of the dips that happen in this region right here. The only one I want to get stopped out on is BTC. When it comes to Ethereum and everything else, I really want to accumulate more. Yep, prices are dropping. Capitulation is not here. So yeah, everyone just chill out, guys. I don't know why everyone is panicking. Okay, so anyway, I did mention my stop on BTC was 75.50. More than likely, I did get stopped out. Now, the next level to really watch is this, $7,200 area. Again, you need to figure out how much capital you're playing with, and if you're truly playing with enough capital where it's not weighing on your conscience, weighing on your emotions. Okay, with that being said, let's sort of dial back a little bit, and let's start looking at different alts that you may be considering getting into or even getting out of. Okay, so Ethereum is currently at 242. Now you have to look at this either as an opportunity that you want to sell or short, or do you want to buy the dip? Because again, Ethereum is clearly, in what looks like to me, creating a nice bull flag. Okay, something like this. Sam Massey asked, did I get stopped out? I'm actually not able to look at my charts, or I'm sorry, my accounts right now, but more than likely I did. this right here is the bull flag for Ethereum, and the size of the bull flag is usually this right here. So it's about, I don't know, 100, I would say close to 100 or $125 or so. And so if we start weighing this out from the break of this flag right here, it probably comes out closer to 380, maybe $400. Okay, so that's sort of one of the areas that I'm targeting for Ethereum. All right, awesome. Let's see what else we have. Okay, 5-wave count I just went over. Bull flag targets, as I mentioned, somewhere around the 11 to 12K range. As low as 9,500 is my target, and as high as 12K. And if 12K is broken, then we might actually see closer to 20K. All right. Okay. Again, please do join our Cryptosomniac Advantage program. Get Advantage right there. Hit products. Get Advantage. We have a lot of analysis, guys. A really awesome community with lots of people who are looking to understand exactly how to trade the market, how to invest in the market, and maybe make some gains out of it. All right, so let's dial back over here. Let's go to LTC and see how LTC is doing. As you can see, most of the market is sort of taking a bit of a tumble, but again, LTC is still holding up fairly well, guys. It's only at $87 or so. I still see LTC in a big sort of pennant right here, or maybe even a symmetrical triangle. Okay, really nothing to, at least in my opinion, nothing to be worried about. I'm not saying that we're gonna go up to 10K tomorrow. I'm just stating that these aren't the levels that you start panicking. Okay, these are the levels that you want to buy on the dip. All right, and I'm not stating that as investment advice. When I get off this chat, I'll more than likely buy some of the dip on some of the positions that I'm in, and hopefully my targets in terms of my positions that I've stated in my community will come true sooner or later. Okay, and I'm fairly honest with everything that I do. I announce my losses as much as I announce my gains. So we're a very honest community, guys. And as you can see, I mention the trades that I'm entering, even if they're quick intra-hour trades, maybe even intraday trades like Link BTC, 5% capital, as you can see, 16% gain. So guys, it's a very open and honest community, and we like to keep it that way. All right, awesome. So the point is, folks, that if you're really sort of freaking out right now at current price action, I don't quite know why, because nothing really has changed in terms of my outlook. We've even climbed above this ascending trend line that we were finding a rejection at right here around 6,200, and we even broke up above that. Okay, so I don't quite really understand what to tell you to explain why I'm still fairly bullish, because I really don't see anything in price action that's telling me otherwise. All right, still massive bullish candles on the weekly. We have fairly bullish candles even on the monthly. So these $100 movements, a couple $100 movements up and down, guys, they don't really scare me as much. Okay, because I'm fairly confident that some of these positions that I'm accumulating or I'm buying into, I have my risk management set properly. I have my positions set properly, diversifying my risk. So I totally understand, if you haven't quite done that, why you're freaking out. But you really need to understand what you're doing when you're trading in this market, guys, because it is a market full of sharks. And if if you make one wrong move, you might be selling at the low and then rebuying at the high. Okay, and you really don't want to be that kind of person, right? So create a plan for yourself. My plan is this, right? I want to accumulate honestly as much Bitcoin, as much Ethereum as possible. Okay, those are, two of my long-term positions, and then my other long-term positions are stated right here. If you come join our community, you'll get to see exactly what I'm into. But those are the positions that I really want to accumulate. Okay, if you're truly in this market for the long term, you're shooting for the moon, whatever you want to call it, then why are you worried about these couple $100 drops in within a day, in a span of a few hours, if you're truly thinking that BTC can sort of take you to new highs, rather like 20K, the previous all-time high, or 30K or 50K, 80K, whatever, right? Whatever you're thinking in terms of all-time highs or new highs, do you think it really matters if you bought in at 7,600 or 7,100? It's only a few $100s away, right? So with that being said, here's something that I sort of mocked up in terms of my projections into the future, okay? And in no way do I mean that these are definitely going to happen. This is actually based on the calculations that is derived from previous bull markets and how markets moved in BTC every few months, as well as how the next bull run started. And I've obviously changed that into proportions of how the next bull run will be in terms of how high the price can go, and decrease that actually significantly by a percentage, because I don't think I'm aiming that high in terms of what other people see, like prices going all the way to 400K or 200K. I'm actually trying to keep it a little bit more rational and reasonable. So my max is about 80,000 or 88,000 by the end of December in 2020. Okay, so that's about a good year and a half from now. All right, I think that's a reasonable bet in terms of what we've seen way back here in BTC, going from $200 to 20K. That's about a what is that? 100x gain. Okay, from 20K all-time high to 80K right here. That's really just a 4.2%, or I'm sorry, 4.2x gain, right? So not as high, obviously, as you can see, but it's high enough to realize that, okay, this asset is potentially going to be revolutionary. It is clearly something that's helping other economies out, like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Greece. Wherever you see governments sort of abusing their powers, financial politicians or economies abusing their place in what they're doing to average citizen, this is really the asset that people will look out to as a safe haven. Okay, now I think that's definitely worth something. I don't know if you do, but if you're not, then really ask yourself, why are you in this market? Okay, if you're looking to trade it, then that's fine. Maybe you can start looking at smaller time frames, like the 5 or 15-minute charts, and you need to have the guts to be able to catch falling knives like these, and go long on these positions right here, or go short up here and then close out your positions down here. Okay, I'm sort of the kind of person where I've realized that this is the market that you actually want to go for swing trades, or multi-week or multi-month, multi-year trades. Okay, this is really what the market has been speaking to me for the last couple of weeks. All right, I'm not saying that it's ready for its next bull run. I'm saying that whatever pullback that happens, I would probably say that it is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to be able to pick up that asset at those prices. Okay, I personally, believe that BTC or some of these other cryptos that I've been talking about, they're going to be changing technology at large, the world at large, and they're going to be worth a lot, in my opinion. Okay, and this is why I'm trading and accumulating in this market. All right, awesome. I know there's a lot of chatter happening in the chat. So anyway, Johnny B says crypto is absolutely not a safe haven for anyone. 80 to 98% losses for 1,000x gains, not safe. Yeah, I mean, when you put it into perspective like that, I totally agree. But again, if you're looking for an asset class that has been the best performing asset class in the last 10 years, guys, you're looking at it. Okay, it's not the United States stock market. It's not gold. It's not commodities. I don't think it's any market in the world. This is it right here. Okay, and I want in on the action, and this is why I've been trading this market so heavily for the past few years, and I want everyone to understand what's happening in this market. You cannot expect this market to just keep going up, guys. We are coming out of a 16-month bear market. All right, you don't just keep going straight up like a moonshot like you did back here in the 2017 days. All right, this wave right here happened right at the end of this bottom of 2015 or 2016 bear market, right? All this stuff happened near the tail end. All right, you can't expect that to happen right away. Okay, there's going to be a lot of chop trading right here, maybe even a pullback right to the 6,000 or 5,000 levels. But again, are you prepared to buy down here if prices come down again? Or are you going to wait again till prices reach back up to 9 or 10K? All right. Okay. Anyway, so I hope this analysis helps. I hope this sort of alleviates your fears and understanding what's happening in the market. I really don't have a whole lot to explain. Honestly, really just ask yourself why you're in the market, how much capital you're playing with. I hope you're not playing with money that is important to your day-to-day life. I hope it's not money that you pulled out of your retirement or anything like that. Please do be careful with investing in crypto. It is a very volatile market. And yeah, I do agree. It is like Johnny B said, yeah, there's 80 to 98% losses, and there's also 1,000x gains. All right. So if you're really looking to long-term invest or trade this market diligently and you actually know how to trade, then I would say this is by far one of the best markets to trade in because the volatility is immense. And trading in a market like this, you can easily make the returns upwards of 100 to 500% in a day. Okay, I like to trade options on Deribit, and to me, options are as close as it gets in terms of a secure exchange that's giving you good volatility and exposure to the underlying asset class of crypto, specifically BTC. So again, if you want to learn options, come join our channel. You'll get to understand how we play the market, what exactly is happening in terms of options, and how you can get exposure to a market like this. All right. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go enjoy myself for the evening. I hope everything that I've stated helps you understand where the market is going, what you may want to do or not do. Again, none of this is financial advice. These are just things that I'm doing. But really, again, guys, ask yourself, why you're in this market and what it is that you're in it for and how long you're in it for. All right? Awesome. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you for the trolls who joined the channel. I appreciate your attention as always. Do find something better to do with your time. Take care, guys. Have an awesome evening. I'll see you back in the Moon Lounge. All right? Cheers. Gotta figure out how to stop the stream. There we go.